Welcome, dear friends, to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. Had a great question asked. I've answered this maybe 1,000 times. Stop exaggerating. I'll read it to you, shall I? It's a brilliant question, and it's probably one of the top 10 questions ever asked of me as a healer, a crystal healer. Hi, Mark. When wearing a crystal such as smoky quartz, Libyan desert quartz, etc., if that crystal picks up negativity and you continue to wear it without cleansing, can that negativity begin to affect you? So it's a great question. Let me just hold a crystal while I'm... okay, this is the new prototype. This is the Libyan desert glass, Herkimer diamond, and Moldavite. I didn't say Moldavite, I should have said Tektite. Maybe it should have Moldavite in there. No. Should start again, shouldn't I? No, come on. Let's get on with it. This is for another day. I just want to hold the crystal because I want to be able to talk to you and at the same time, give you an idea of how to reply to that in a way that sinks in and it's digestible. If I was to say to you, I've worked with crystals for a minimum of 15 years constantly. That's every day, really. Every day. I mean, if you look at my office right now, you can see crystals and I'm working with now. So there's some, I mean, you can see them all over there as well. And some over here I'm working with too. I've been working on these few here. I've been working on these. I've just finished on these, which are now going to the office. And in these boxes here, I'm working on all of these. I've just started on these two. I've started with these, so I'm working on the spheres. So yesterday wasn't a good day for me because somebody drugged me in a little tiny gas station. I go there most mornings and somebody stuck some I guess the legal drugs. It felt like I'd been drugged by, I know I've gone off on one now, but I got to tell you the truth. Story of my life. These things happen. Yeah, it was strange because I was doing a live yesterday on Instagram. And the waiter came up and did something really strange, and it was weird. And I actually said something on camera, and I actually called him a tosspot, which is not like me, but something came out, so I knew something was up. And within 20 minutes of leaving there, it felt like somebody gave me a Valium, and it was weird all day. I'm just saying the world's going mad. The world's going mad. Why would somebody do that? Maybe I pulled up in a better car than I normally have. Maybe jealousy, maybe out of stupidity, maybe he's been jabbed up and he's just all over the place. Who knows? But yeah, it was a challenging day yesterday, I've got to say. Anyway, let it go. Send love and healing, and don't get involved with that. Just grow from it and learn from it. And if you can learn from this now, just be aware where you eat and be careful. Things are becoming more crazy by the day. That is a fact. Get my two ladies in. So, the question is, can a crystal, while you are in a vicinity or an area or a situation where it's negative, that you pick up that negativity, and then through the day, if you don't clear and cleanse and jet wash that crystal, can that crystal then affect you because it's received that negative energy? It's a great question. So as I was saying, I've been doing this job for a long time. I work with crystals every day, literally hundreds of thousands. So my answer to that is really simple, but I'll explain why. No, a crystal cannot and will not, in my understanding up till this moment, and I could be proven wrong one day, but right now I have never handled a crystal that has had negative energy in it that I have felt. Therefore, the only conclusion I could ever come to over these years is that crystals do not hold negative memory. However, they hold positive memory. Positive memory is high frequency vibration. That's laughter, joy, excitement, adventure, love. All that energy is a frequency that aligns and is allowed into the crystal to hold memory. So if you're on a meditation energy, if you're on a healing energy, it's the same frequency. It heals, it helps, it gives, it blasts to help with negative energy. So it's basically a clearer of dark, dirty, negative energy. That is every crystal that is born of this land. Basically any crystal that is alive, that's come from this land, and it's natural as it comes through Mother Earth. It has a natural ability to heal. It's like saying to somebody that, is there such a thing that a tree could hold negative energy? In my opinion, I go to trees all over the world. Only thing that I feel from a tree is it heals us, it grounds us, it clears the negativity away. The tree is always healthy until it dies, and that's its life over with. So the tree is a spirit, just like everything that's alive has spirit. So I believe a crystal has spirit the same as a tree, and it has the energy a little bit stronger in certain aspects of what I'm talking about. But there's never been a crystal that I've held in my hand. I told the story once before about, I used to go to Ibiza a lot. I used to work in Ibiza a lot. And I used to really enjoy it. And there was a certain little shop. And this little shop was all crystals. And the guy in the shop was talented, gifted, and really, really brilliant. I remember a couple of times I brought a fake Moldavite, and 2 pieces of fake Moldavite and about 7 or 8 natural Moldavites, which were genuine. And I just wanted to test him. So I asked him to close his eyes, and I put 2 pieces, one fake in his hand. And I said, what does that feel like? He says, I'm not really feeling too much with this one. Then I put a genuine piece of Moldavite in his hand, and he held it. He says, this is a powerful crystal. Right? So I knew he worked on energy. I knew he was very, very attuned to crystals. I asked him one day, because that question is posed upon me all the time, and as a healer I like to ask other healers or people who obviously work with crystals, because he owns a crystal shop and he's been doing it all his life. So I said, have you ever come across a crystal that's been dark? And he said, he laughed. And I thought, oh, okay, like, it sounds stupid, but you know, it's a valid question. And he said, no, you can't put negative energy into crystals. Crystals are pure healing. And I said, yeah. And I said, has there ever been a crystal, anything that you felt and then you thought this is bad? And he said, 3 ladies came into my shop once. This is the story he told me. And they were very excited, and they wanted him to feel a crystal, and it was a stone. And he held it in his hand, and within a few seconds he felt like his hand was like Medusa. It was turning into a stone, and he could feel the darkness, and he quickly dropped it. And he says, Jesus Christ. He said, that is awful. He says, what is it? The ladies then said, oh, we got it from a concentration camp called Auschwitz. And he said, bury it fast. They took it away. They took it from there to do some healing. So they took the crystal and wanted to give healing to Auschwitz. Some people work differently. And he said, no, get rid of it. Just put it in Mother Earth and don't touch it anymore. Leave it alone and walk away from that. You know, interesting. So that was a stone. And so I kind of say that my understanding of crystals are very simple. Crystals love to be loved like you and I. They love good energy. They love to be cleaned. There's nothing wrong with cleaning them. There's nothing wrong with feeding them great energy. When you're happy, hold a crystal. Hold it when you're happy, because you're giving back to the crystal good energy. Not only good memory, but good energy. So it's not like they need it, but It's a memory that you're placing into it. So the more positive energy you give it, the more sunlight you give it, the more love you give it, the more it becomes a powerful crystal for you to work with. So there is, it's a kind of a double-edged sword, right? How we're talking. Well, why would you clean it if it doesn't need cleaning? Well, why don't you consider it? Why don't you consider your crystal to be alive? And why don't you consider it to be something that you treasure and you love? You don't have to go around talking to it, but hold it when you're feeling good. And give it the love that you want to give it. Give it the healing that you want to give it, okay? Because you're adding memory into it. And that memory, like a computer, I don't like to use the analogy of a computer, but if you feed it good information, it's always there for you to retain. It's always there for you to go back to. So if you're working on yourself, giving yourself a healing session, every time that you work on yourself, the universe gives you healing. When that healing comes through, if you're holding your crystal, or if it's around your neck and you're having a healing session, that same energy is absorbed, is retained. It's the memory. It's the memory, the frequency, which absorbs into the crystal and stays in there. It's incredible. And then what happens? Automatically, this is a natural phenomenon. Soon as you start to feel a little bit low or down or sad or upset or in a situation that people are giving you grief, or somebody passes away into the light and you start to feel this overwhelming urge of sadness, if you start to feel like you're going cuckoo in the head and you feel like everything's going wrong and what's wrong with me, the crystal automatically senses negative energy in the body and it blasts an energy wave to that very place to keep you from going crazy. So by wearing certain crystals, they keep you balanced when a moment you could have just lost the plot. You could have knee-jerked. You could have done something that you wish you hadn't have done. That's why wearing crystals keeps you at a very good, neutral, balanced, non-judgment place. That's my experience. And when working with clients, I have maybe 100 crystals around me, and I will choose the right crystal to place on the client. And that client who's going through a terrible time, when that crystal is on them, coupled with the energy that comes through from the universe or spirit, whatever you want to call it, only that energy from the spirit world, from the cosmos, from the universe, has the highest frequency that you can imagine. There are many different types of healing energies that come forward. Some come forward from Mother Earth, some comes forward from the cosmos, the universe, source, and some comes forward from spirit. That's their family in the spirit world, or your family, or guides, or whatever. That is 3 separate energies. There's also the energy of you, your heart, your energy that can pour through into the client. So there's multiple ways energy can come through, and as that healing's taking place, you can clearly see that something profound is happening. When that healing session is done and I take my crystals, whether it's 2 or 3 or 10, and put them to one side, I can guarantee you, if I come back in 1 hour's time, those crystals are filled with the same energy and you can feel it in your hand. That's why when I work with, I have over there, I have a very powerful microscope. I have little tiny UVs here and there. And when I check crystals and Moldavites, the one thing that I don't really tell you about, because that's something personal to me, but my final test with Moldavite is holding it in my hands and meditating. Because I normally sense a Moldavite as a genuine Moldavite in my hand, and it doesn't take long before I can feel it and think, wow, this is Moldavite. That's my final test. With each piece that I sell on my website, I finally test it. But that's another story, and I can go deeper into that. But to finalize on this amazing question that keeps getting asked over and over and over, and I must have over 50 videos out of 1,500 on here, and I know it's a challenge to find, but hopefully this video will serve you well and it answers your question. Crystals do not hold negative energy. And when you are around people or in the vicinity or in an area or in a room with negative people and negative energy, the crystal is never affected. In fact, it switches on and starts to blast an energy to try and heal that very energy in the room. So it's a repeller. It's a repellent of negative energy. It's a protector of negative energy, but it does not hold negative memory. It holds only positive memory. The negative energy seems to dissipate. It seems to be blasted. It seems to go. So I never worry about my crystals of, oh, it's bad or it's dead or it's lost its power. No. Maybe what's happened is that it's served its purpose. It's healed what it was meant to heal. And now you're moving up. So you're moving on to your next crystal. You're moving on to your next frequency, your next energy. Oh, my crystal was really powerful and now I don't feel anything. Well, maybe that's because it did what it was meant to do. Maybe it's healed that thing that, oh, I could feel this. That's right, because it's healing it. But now it's gone. Do you know how many times people came to me after I gifted them a crystal and said, you're different? And they've gone, what do you mean? You've changed. You're not the same when I met you last. In fact, you don't have that energy that you had that issue with. It's gone. And they're, oh my God, you're right. It's no longer there. And I think, yeah, nice crystal, by the way, around your neck. Oh yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? I don't take it off. No, that's right. No, that's it. That's all I need to say. Because the crystal did its job. We often forget when we're healed from an emergency or a crisis or a physical or an emotional issue. And then we just take it for granted. But I don't. I'm always watching. I'm always savvy and watching. Okay, you wore that crystal. You've had it on for 2 weeks. Your issue's gone. You had the issue for 2 years. Now it's gone. Well, how could that be? You've only had the crystal 2 weeks and now your issue's gone. There can only be one answer. Only one explanation. It's got to be the crystal. Or it's coincidence. But I tell you what, it's a big bloody coincidence because this has been happening all the time for 20 years with me. And that's why I know crystals are amazing. I know that crystals choose you and they do not hold negative energy ever. Respect them. Treat them well. Treat them with love. Talk to them. Do what you want. But remember, a crystal is divine Mother Earth given gift to us. Let's treat it that way. They are not weak. They do not hold negativity and they don't need cleansing and clearing of negative energy. But there's no reason why we can't keep putting good energy into them so that they become stronger in memory of what we're doing as a healer. So yes, you go out into the sun. Do you feel better? Of course you do. Well, so would a crystal. Right? Yeah, have a wash. So do, but you're nice and clean now. So will a crystal. Oh yeah, I'll have a salt bath. So would a crystal. Because it's a living spirit entity. Every crystal I hold, to me, is alive. That might sound crazy, but I feel the same about every single creature in the world. That's why I have respect for them all. I wish you a lovely day. I hope this serves you well. If you find this interesting, if you love my conversation about crystal and you find it fascinating, if you kind of like feel like, I kind of like what he's saying, it's making a bit of sense. So it's called align. If you align with what I'm saying, then please do join me for the Pure Energy Healing online interactive crystal healing course, which is coming up very soon. I'll put the link below. Take care, guys. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.